Hello and welcome back to the Youngstown Click Be Connected podcast. I'm so happy to be here with you,
Well,
Rudy.
thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Listen, guys, there's been a buzz around Youngstown about this new restaurant coming to town, and I am, to downtown, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about John Rudy. So many people know you throughout town because of the various places you've worked, the various things you've done. I can't wait to get into it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I appreciate you, but I'm excited to also introduce and we're going to talk about some of the things that you're working on now. There's been so many questions around it and stuff, so hopefully we'll get some of those answered. And then, guys, we're going to give you the inside scoop along the journey. So just don't go anywhere. You want to hear, and if you don't know Rudy, you want to know Rudy. If you know Rudy, you're going to want to hear maybe some of the things that you don't know about him, and we're going to get right into it. But before we do, I just want to thank the Gallagher. The Gallagher is where we're sitting here right now. We're sitting in one of their Airbnb units. The Gallagher is a over 100-year-old building, and they have apartments. They remodeled the entire thing, beautiful apartments, but they also have Airbnbs, and the Airbnbs are perfect for when your friends and family come to town, or when you want to come down and enjoy a weekend getaway or something at the Cavelli Center. Just book an Airbnb, and you don't have to go far. You could walk, and you could just make it a whole event. So we want to thank the Gallagher. They're supporters of Youngstown Click. And then we want to thank Ohio Flame. Ohio Flame have you ever heard of Ohio Flame? Okay, yeah. They do custom made fire pits, and they actually can put your brand, your logo into it, make it a real centerpiece for your backyard, for your business, for your event. Really cool people. And they also have supported this podcast from the time that we started it. So that's super, super great. All right, let's get right into you, Rudy. Tell us a little bit about yourself. So I know you have been born and bred. You are a local boy through and through. Tell us a little bit about who you are before we kind of get into your career and stuff.
Like you said, I was born and raised here. I actually grew up not even 10 minutes up the road on the east side of Youngstown.
East side.
But, I grew up in a big family. Big Catholic family. I went to Catholic grade school, preschool, high school. I went to Ursuline, which is a big part of my life and my my religion. And, I started young. I started probably about 16, 17 years old working in the bar business just as a dishwasher.
Okay.
So my whole career has been around the hospitality restaurant industry. I've pretty much worked every single position that you can could think of, from a dishwasher to a cook to a kitchen manager. Then I turned 21 and it was a bartender to a bar manager. And then I got different levels and I worked up to general manager. And, it was something I loved. I loved being around food. My family growing up, we were always, around dinner, and every Sunday dinner, it always brought family together.
Oh, see, that sounds like a movie, it sounds like Blue Bloods.
That's the connection that I always had with food, and I love to cook. I love service industry, and it was always brought me a pleasure to see people enjoying themselves. And most of my best memories in my life come around a table. Wow. Of food with my family, with my friends. Yeah. So food kind of always brought me together with friends and family. And I did a lot of traveling. So I got to try different foods from different cultures all across the U.S.
Wow.
All the way out to California. I go to Florida a lot. So, it's always piqued my interest was the hospitality industry and the food industry. So, like I said, I've been doing it in this area. I've worked and managed and owned a few places in this area. Yeah. I actually had the benefit. I lived in Cleveland for quite some time.
Okay.
And I got to experience, a bigger city vibe with food and restaurants. I worked in more of a corporate setting in Cleveland, and I did some in the Pittsburgh area.
People like you make the best managers and the best owners of restaurants, and because you know what it's like to be in that position. Yeah. You're not coming in because you have a degree or because you're somebody's family. You actually worked. Yeah. What did you want to be before? Okay, so did you have dreams as a kid before you got this random job as a dishwasher?
You know what? I don't really remember. I know I always liked the police force and always kind of wanted to do something like that. Okay. But like I said, I got bit by the restaurant bug young.
And it just,
actually last night I was out to dinner and I was talking to another friend. And, we were talking about the endeavor coming up. And she said, so you're back. And she goes, once it's in your blood, it doesn't leave. And she owned a few restaurants before. And her family's, were restaurateurs. I said, you're right. It was.
I can't only imagine because I waitressed through my junior and senior year, I got into waitressing, and then I worked waitressing in New York City and in Hilton Head and in Lakeland, Florida. I waitressed, and so now that I'm here, sometimes I go out to eat, and I'm like, sometimes like, I mean, I'm literally like, oh, I could do this. I could pick up and I'm like, I don't even have time to do like which in my head to do like, but it still seems exciting to me. And then even as a barista, I was one of the head trainers in Starbucks in New York City. And when I see them like get in a line or whatever, I want to jump back there so bad because it just gets in your blood.
I do that too. It's, and one of the, I call it a quality of myself. One of the things that I do is, I go out to restaurants, and sometimes it's a bad thing. It's like, I don't want to say nitpick, but it's like, the light's a little too bright. The music's a little too loud. That needs, but it's my nature.
It's just,
and the one thing is when I've been in the business and managing and owning a restaurant, it's one of the things that I've always did. And I was very particular on the cleanliness, and, kind of my OCD would come in where that has to go here, and I would walk around, and it's
I love what you said about the straw. Okay, but I'm jumping ahead of myself. But go ahead and tell us like a few of the things that you would do just to make sure that the environment was clean.
Yeah. So, sometimes I would go and, in the back of the house or where one of the high traffic areas was, I would drop, 4 or 5 straws on the floor, or I would put something on the floor and I would watch it. And I would see, how many of my staff or servers are going to walk over and not pick it up and do that, just to see. But, it was kind of like a training tactic too. And then my staff started on, oh my God, he's crazy on cleaning. So they became crazy on cleaning.
Sure.
And, cleanliness was always one of my biggest things in the restaurant. And, the sound, the lighting, the TVs, I want to create an ambiance for a guest to relax. I want to put myself in their shoes and create a good ambiance and a great time for them to enjoy themselves.
Right. Okay. So now I'm just getting ahead of myself because I want to get back to you. But have you ever, and you don't have to say, I mean, whether it's here, because you've traveled Columbus, Cleveland, like you said, all over, but have you ever go into a restaurant and then you saw something and you turned around and left?
Yes.
You did?
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's
I won't say where, or when, but there is... There's some things that I think in restaurants that shouldn't be done. And, when I see it, it's not in my control, but I can control to go there or not. And
you're not like Hell's Kitchen, Gordon Ramsay.
No, I'm not.
What?
No, I'm not that bad. But no, I walked in and I seen some things and I said, well, if that's happening here, I don't know what's happening in the rest of the restaurant. And for me to get like that, it has to be a serious,
Yeah.
it has to be a serious. I mean, I can take some, the cleanliness. I'm not saying I'm very picky on everything.
Right.
I go, I go anywhere. But there's some certain things that kind of just, and it's just me personally that bug me. But it hasn't happened often.
Right. Okay. So back to you. So you just got into it, and then you began to work for a chain for kind of like a nationwide.
Yeah,
chain.
That was a little later. I started here in Youngstown. I worked for I worked for a chain here, just starting it as a dishwasher and a kitchen manager and things like that. And then I started working at some local restaurants and bars here in the area. And there's a big difference between the corporate and the local operated bars. And then I worked for a corporate restaurant for roughly about 14 years.
Wow.
I worked and I traveled. That's when I went to Cleveland. I traveled. I did some work in West Virginia, Youngstown area with them, Pittsburgh area with them.
Yeah.
But that corporate structure is really kind of what molded my career. It really showed me how to dive into food costs, bar costs like that, controlling cost, and P&Ls, things of that nature that a lot of people don't really see on the back end, the accounting and the financial aspects of the restaurant, which do an inventory. Every Monday at 5:30, 6 a.m., we had to wake up, go to the restaurant. We counted every beer bottle. We weighed every keg, weighed every liquor bottle. We compared it to sales. It's definitely very time consuming.
Wow.
And it's not fun, but that's the back end of the restaurant business that a lot of people don't see, or the financials. We got down to the point where, hey, we're missing 3 beer bottles for the week, or we're down 2 or 3 shots for the week.
Wow.
Or, our keg levels are off. But, we did it with food too. We went in and weighed food and counted food, things like that. But that's the, back end of it. Everybody's like, oh, you're out front doing shots, drinking, having fun, high five.
But everything's counted. Everything's.
There's a lot of things that you got to keep an eye on. Me personally, I paid attention to my invoices a lot.
Okay.
Every time food invoices, I kind of double and triple checked every day, par levels, things like that. So we're not running out of food for our guests, or, you know, setting different levels of prep. So, you know, we make sure we have everything there. So that corporate aspect really trained me a lot to get that knowledge. And again, when I came back here, I implemented, you know, some things I did. I took over a restaurant and I tried to implement a lot of the corporate, but some didn't work, and that's okay.
Right.
But you know what? It saved us money and financials where we needed to. And, you know, a little mix of both I think is good.
Right.
And, you know, the big thing too is, you know, supporting local was huge for me at my last restaurant that I owned. And, you know, it was great.
Now, are we allowed to say which restaurant that was? Because that's how a lot of people know you.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I was a co-owner of the Magic Tree out in Boardman.
Got it. Okay. Yes.
And, we did there. We supported a lot of local. We did a lot of local beers, local products, food. You know, that to me was important. And working that corporate aspect, you really don't get that opportunity.
Right.
It's kind of, I should say, cookie cutter. You have to use this product on this product, do that. So coming home, and that's when I moved back from Cleveland, and doing that with Magic Tree, it was amazing.
Yeah.
You know, I got to meet some of the greatest people that I'm still friends with.
That's
you know,
so cool.
all the guys, you know, out of Birdfish Brewing and Noble Creature, awesome guys, and, you know, all the local breweries and some of the local farmers, you know, working. You know, we got a lot of our proteins. We had grass-fed beef, and we would get our microgreens local, and produce, mushrooms local.
You had microgreens at the Magic Tree? That's amazing.
So it was good just to actually see a lot of the other local business people. We were kind of forming a good friendship and work together. And, you know, coming back too, I got to meet a lot of the bar and restaurant owners around here. And it's been a phenomenal ride.
Now, was it under you that they started the food truck?
Yes.
Okay, so do they still have the food truck?
That I don't know.
Okay,
I'm not sure if Magic Tree still has it.
But that was your idea, because I know that they popped up and they had really good food in there as well.
Yeah, it was a learning curve for us. You know, I've never dealt with a food truck before, so you know, the big thing is a food truck was great. You know, it has the backside too. A lot of maintenance issues. You're traveling and things like that.
Yeah.
But you know, Magic Tree was a great learning curve for me coming home again and meeting some, you know, local restaurateurs and. Some of these local restaurant owners that have been in here for a while have kind of mentored me a little bit, and you know, they opened their arms to me. Hey, here's my number. Call me if you need anything. You know, especially going through COVID with the restaurant was.
So you have some stories revolving around that,
you know,
and just the creativity that it really takes for small businesses to make it through tough times like that. So talk to us about a little bit about that, and then talk to us about how you became integral in the St. Patrick's Day festival.
Yeah, so
parade.
When COVID started, it was our first year that I put a tent outside. It was a 7,000 square foot tent, and I believe St. Patrick's Day was on the Tuesday that year, and the governor shut us down on Sunday.
Oh my goodness.
So, you know, I had 60, 70 kegs of beer in the cooler. I had 2,000 pounds of corned beef cooked.
Oh.
And it was definitely it was a learning experience for everybody. You know, nobody knew what to do. You know, even some of the veteran restaurant owners that have owned restaurants in this area 30, 40 years, I've called them all, hey guys, what do I do?
Right.
We don't know either. You know, we got to go through it. So COVID was definitely a tough time, just not for me personally, but for just the bar industry itself in general.
Yeah.
And I give a lot of credit to, you know, a lot of the bars and restaurants downtown too that stuck through that and persevered through it. And then, you know, they got hit with the construction and persevered through that and everything. Right. So a lot of credit to these guys downtown for the heart that they have to keep pushing, to keep it downtown going. So, you know, I want to give a big thank you for all those guys down there. You know, and that's kind of what pushed me, 100%. You know, to keep going. But, you know, I had 57 employees. I laid off 51. And, you know, it was tough. So I kept, you know, my core management team and, you know, the guys in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And we were closed for roughly 16 weeks doing just delivery, pickup.
Okay.
And things of that nature.
And you had to get all creative because with all that corned beef that you had ready for St. Patrick's Day.
With the corned beef, what I actually did is I fed 45 Ohio National Guards every Tuesday. So I donated at the Second Harvest Food Bank. So I donated everything back to the Second Harvest Food Bank.
Okay.
So we could feed the National Guards. And they were very appreciative, and I got to meet them all and shake their hands. I personally delivered it every Tuesday to them down there.
Wow.
I've dealt with the Second. I like dealing with a lot of nonprofits, with the Second Harvest Food Bank, Inspiring Minds, the Piggyback Foundation. I've done a lot with those through Magic Tree during COVID. And, it was tough, you know, just the hardest part was not having an answer for my staff, because you know I had an amazing staff at Magic Tree. They were the best people I've ever worked with, and you know, they looked up to me for an answer. What do I do? What do I do? And I didn't have one, because I didn't know what to do either.
Yeah.
So you know, we stayed close, and like I said, I kept my management team on. And what we did was we literally waited for a phone call. I would drive 20 minutes to deliver a cheeseburger just so I could, you know, go. And, you know, usually you're used to ordering, you know, cases of chicken breasts.
Yeah.
But I was going through Rudy Brothers or GFS or Aldi's and buying 6 at a time just so we don't ruin it or waste it. So I was constantly running to the store back and forth.
Wow.
But, you know, we brought some of the staff. A lot of the staff actually called and said, hey, listen, I want to volunteer. I'll come in and work. I'll come in and help cook. And
man, that's a testament to who you are. You know, to find that in a workplace, that's huge.
And the good thing is we actually did well during COVID with sales. We've seen so much support from the community. I think it's kind of like the good karma. You know, we support a lot of local there, and the local came back to support us. The Valley really stepped up. You know, we had people calling, hey, I want to just buy a $500 gift card to support you guys, but any nurse or doctor that walks in, they want food, tell them it's on me. I had a person donate $1,000. Yeah, a couple people donated $500, $1,000.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You know, we did.
Again, people, I always say people are the greatest asset of this region.
Yeah, it is.
And really it goes for anywhere, but really here, there's so many great people, and it goes unnoticed sometimes or disconnected. But man, that's beautiful.
I tell you what, the community really supported us a lot, and people were coming in and leaving tips. So we gave it. All the managers gave it to the volunteers.
Yeah.
So there was sometimes we'd have 3 employees. We would rotate, so everybody got a chance.
Okay.
I mean, they would make $200-300 in tips in a night, you know, just in a full day of work. And so it really helped them.
Good.
And the community really stepped up with us and supported us. And I'm very thankful for them. You know, we still worked. Like I said, I worked with the Inspiring Minds. We donated food with them, the Second Harvest Food Bank, the Piggyback Foundation. We had some donations for lunches for Boardman St. E's and Youngstown St. E's, which both supported us greatly. I literally did 2 or 3 deliveries every day to Youngstown St. E's and Boardman St. E's, and I personally delivered it, and they were helping out. So, you know, it was a good feeling to get through COVID, but it was rough. You know, we just didn't know what to do.
Of course,
and
you don't know how long it's going to last. You just don't. There's so many variables. I can't even imagine
it was,
and leading a team through that. But I'm glad that
I'm not going to lie. It was tough. You know, just not knowing, like I said, not knowing what to do. The fear of the unknown is just what's going to happen. Are we going to stay open? Are we going to close?
Right.
What's the future hold? You know, we just, you know, are we going to be able to get through this?
Right.
And, you know, another good thing that I like is that you know, that little South Avenue corridor we were up on there, you know, we did a lot of food trades with other restaurants to feed the staff that we were doing. You know, I worked with my guys out at Aquapazzo. They donated food. We did that. Melvin at Bogey's, Emma Bruno Brothers. We all traded food, you know, so we could feed the staff. So they weren't eating the same thing every day.
Amazing. Yeah.
So, you know, that sense of, you know, they're friends of mine, of friendship and community and everything. You know, even, hey, I ran out of dish soap. Hey, I'll get it next week. You know, things like that. Little things like that you couldn't get.
Yes.
Or, hey, I need this. Can I borrow that? And it was amazing. So,
that's
you know,
amazing.
That's one of the reasons, you know, why, you know, what we're going to talk about is why I wanted to come back and do this. And this adventure here.
So, so many people in the community know or are familiar with you because of your work in the restaurant industries and stuff like that. And there's a common theme of your food is good, it's quality, it's delicious. So, but you did not go to chef school.
No.
Right. So did you just like, how do you come up with, because using a lot of like local ingredients, you got to get, it's not like somebody's giving you and saying, here, make this. So how do you come up with
I got to be honest, I can't take all the credit. I had an amazing kitchen team at Magic Tree. They were the heart and soul. They were the big idea guys. You know, I worked with them, giving my opinions, let's tweak this, but we worked as a team, but I got to give credit to those guys.
So you hire and then they come up with the
well, you know, we had a menu that we took over when Magic Tree changed hands, and then we changed it again, but we worked as a team. So not even just me, my general managers, my management team, our food distributors. You know, we would do blind taste tests. We'd have 3 different things. And not even tell them what it is. What do you like better? Just to see. So it's definitely a team effort. It's just not me. I can't take credit for that. But, you know, I had some amazing chefs and some amazing line guys in that kitchen at Magic Tree that really really knew their food.
Right.
But again, like I said, it was all a team effort.
Yeah.
They come up and I'd give your opinion. It's like, I don't like that. Maybe less of this.
Right.
But at the end of the day, we would all come up and we would all agree on a specific item. And it seemed just to always work as a team effort up there.
Nice. Okay. So then you stepped out of that partner, or that you sold, or what? Tell us like how you got to like where you are now, and then we'll talk about what the future holds.
Yeah. So the company ended up selling June of last year, and I've been working down in Columbus in the Hocking Hills area with my family. They're going to be opening a winery down in downtown Hilliard, down in Columbus.
Okay.
So I've been doing some traveling back and forth, staying in Columbus, helping make some wine, helping get that project set up. So
you know what? That's a unique process.
Yeah, it's going. So it's my cousin. He's the owner with me, and he is he's getting it developed right now. But I'm just right now mostly doing consulting. I was down in Columbus kind of every weekend in Hocking Hills making wine. Yeah. We had some other wine endeavors, and then a couple of months ago, I had the opportunity with Brian to actually sit down and talk. And I've known Brian for a long time, and we just talked, and everything just kind of felt right, you know, and it kind of felt right. So I made a decision that I needed to stay here in Youngstown. And I'm still doing what I can down in Columbus, but my focus right now is the new endeavor we're going to talk about here shortly.
Yeah.
But since I've been back, we've been working on this. We're kind of just getting off the ground, really.
Yeah.
Nothing's set in stone yet. But it's I'm working on the project now, and hopefully we're going to be bringing this venture downtown and maybe a few other ventures in the near future.
That's amazing. Okay, so guys, now, like Rudy said, there are such great restaurants down here and people who have literally invested years and heart and soul. And I know many of them. I'm sure you know even more of them. But just who've really been here and made their mark, and they're staples in the downtown area. So we're definitely excited to bring you the news of one more restaurant, which is going to be called the VARSITY CLUB.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
And it's going to have a strong emphasis or connection with Youngstown State University.
Yes.
Okay. So talk to us about the plans. And now, again, this is still a work in progress.
Yeah.
So you guys are getting the inside scoop. And I hope you appreciate Youngstown Click, the inside scoop. So just know that this is, I wanted to bring this to you because there's so many people who catch wind. They see the renovation going on. By the way, it's going to be right around the corner from the Gallagher, but it's like connected, right?
It's going to be in the first floor of the Gallagher. The way I kind of explain it is it's where the old Cedars used to be downtown. Okay. A lot of people in town connect with where the Cedars was. So they know, once you say that, they know exactly where it is.
Yep.
But yeah, right now we're playing on the first floor. We're going to do it in a couple different phases. That's our plan. Again, nothing set in stone. We're just working day by day on it. We're hoping, if everything works well, Memorial Day weekend, we're going to have maybe a soft patio opening just to kind of get the doors open and let people see what we're going to do.
Okay.
But we're going to focus a lot on YSU athletics in general. We've been working with YSU and some of the team members at YSU for sports sponsorship, things of that nature. We really want to tie it together, and especially if once you look out of our front door, you look up and there's YSU.
Right. I mean,
we're literally right there on campus.
Yeah.
And so YSU to us is, it's kind of like the center of town for us. And, downtown and YSU seem to be blending together a little bit right now. Yeah. And we want to be a part of that. Like I said, working with the sports, not just football alone. YSU football is huge. Right. But we want to work with all the athletic teams and doing different sponsorships. And
because there really is somewhat of a disconnect. I mean, there's people, alumni, families. There are people who are loyal to YSU and the athletics program, but there is a huge disconnect from a large part of the community into YSU. Yep. There is, it just happens that way. And so I love that there's going to be a connection. I love that it's going to, if there's a YSU game playing, you guys are going to make sure that it's being played on one of the TVs.
We want to be the place to go to, not just, for when alumni come in town, hey, stay at the Airbnb at the Gallagher. Yeah. Then you have the VARSITY Club right there. Now, me personally, I've been tailgating at YSU for almost 20 years.
That's
and I've been
amazing.
doing it. And the guys that I tailgate,
I always hear about people doing that. It sounds like so much fun.
It's a great event, and it really brings out. And I can, the guys that they've been doing it since the mid '90s.
Wow.
And early '90s, and they were doing it. And I just remember them hearing stories. When we started, there was 10 cars, and now when you go, I mean, it's a huge event.
Yeah.
So it's good to see the support from the community for YSU.
When people tailgate, by the way, so how do they know like which parking lot? I sound like a real newbie because I am. I'm like, sports is not my, like, I don't really know much. So when people tailgate, like at any event, how do they know which parking lot? Do they just pay for parking and then they like set up there? And
yeah, there's certain you pay you buy when you buy season tickets. There's different packages where you get tailgate lots, or you can go and just buy a single one day.
Got it. Okay.
So we have 4 different guys that have the package, and then we get season tickets with it.
And they all park together.
And they're all, and everybody's YSU alumni.
Okay.
So it's like the Penguin Club, I believe it's called, and we get tickets through there, and we kind of have your spot reserved.
Yeah.
We've been in the same spot for 20 years, so
Nice.
and it's all the same people around us.
Okay.
So there's some of these guys I don't see at all the rest of the year, but I see them every tailgate season. You know, it's a good time.
Right. Yeah.
So it's good to see, people do have interest in YSU and the sports in the area. But we want to team up with YSU and be that place to go where you can come and watch the basketball game, the girls' basketball game. The fields are right up from us. If anything we can broadcast, we'll broadcast and we'll have it.
Yeah.
We're even talking different programs of, a roundup for YSU. Something we've talked about doing is you round up your check, and then towards the end of the year, all the roundup money we put into a scholarship fund for a local student here, and we give them, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $10,000 scholarship to YSU, and it's all supported locally, all supported from the community, and all supported from alumni.
Right. Well, it sounds like everything that who has made Rudy, all your experiences have like almost like set you up to be, because you love local.
Yes.
Like this is like a part of your thing. So now to have this opportunity in a place that hop, skip, and a jump from where you grew up, I know how much that has got to mean to you.
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing. So, okay. So there's also a patio.
Yes.
Right. Okay, so for people who have not been down to Cedars or they can't really picture, how many people do you think that will be able to fit on a patio?
Depending on what we do finally, probably at least 100, 125, maybe 150 people. If it goes how we do. Yeah. Again, we don't have anything finalized right now.
Yeah.
But
it's still everything's still in the
huge.
Works. Yeah.
It's pretty big. So we're still working on some different designs.
Are you thinking to have like a place for what is it? There will be the bands on the patio.
Our goal is to have a full bar outside, dining outside, bands outside. We're going to redo all the landscape, all the outside of the building, all the facades going to be redone, cleaned up. But you'll be able to have a full bar sitting downtown with TVs outside, dining outside. Eventually we're going to work on putting a half awning and closing, things like that down the road. But again, this summer we just might get it set up. Yeah. Just so we can get some people outside and get some things generated. We're really focusing on the kitchen and the inside right now.
To think about that, even what it is right now, and then to think about to get a picture of that, it's truly amazing because this building sat empty for so long, and it was it was like a lot of people wouldn't have necessarily said that, hey, this building could see another life.
Oh, it's beautiful. I tell you, the room we're sitting in right now is gorgeous. This Airbnb is beautiful. And I got a chance to look at some of the apartments and everything, and hopefully soon I'll be moving in down here too.
Oh, that's okay. Well, that would make sense because you'll be down here all the time anyway.
I'm going to be living downtown, so I'm hopefully going to be moving in down here. I got to talk to the guys and see what's available soon. And I'm looking forward to that too because I've lived downtown before and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But also too, a lot what we want to focus on, YSU, but also some local sports too. The local high school football. Friday night. We're YSU Stadium's right up the road. Yeah. Every Friday there's a local high school game. Sometimes Saturday. Yeah. We really want to focus on that. So we might put up some local memorabilia. Things like that. Not a lot. Our look. We want to keep it fresh and clean. Being in the building now, I have to say the brickwork on the walls is
incredible.
Gorgeous.
I know.
We don't even want to touch it. We want to leave it just with, there's hardwood floors are gorgeous. All the brickwork.
Wait, there's still original hardwood floors?
Original hardwood floors in there, yeah.
See, okay, and so this is a perfect time to say, okay, guys, so you want to follow along on this journey because we're going to come back to you, and the next time we come back to you, you're going to actually get a video tour of the inside, even as it's still being worked on, which is pretty cool. So we're gonna keep bringing you updates. So make sure you follow, subscribe, whatever platform you're watching on.
Subscribe, share. Always share.
In fact, we have a big giveaway to announce at the end. So don't go anywhere because we're going to make sure that you have an opportunity to win an opening night or an opening day.
Yep. Whenever we have our weekend opening, weekend package.
Okay, yes. So make sure that you just stay posted because we're going to give that away. But we'll come to the detail. Well, whatever. I'm getting all tongue-tied.
We'll get
You
some
guys
details
get that?
later.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so tell us. So the brick, I can't believe these people knew what they were doing for the brick to still be that intact.
I mean, it's
incredible.
It's
people who
honestly
built it.
beautiful, and you don't even want to touch. I'm amazed. I'm shocked at the condition that it's in, and I mean, for as old as this building is, definitely the craftsmanship that these guys put in this building are amazing.
Incredible.
It's amazing work. So we want to keep it, the look simple, easy, but we want to keep that old rustic look with the brick and the hardwood floors. It's going to be, a sports bar theme.
Okay.
Not too high end again. We're going to just try to get good quality food, quality product, and quality service. It's going to be a place that you want to kind of come, like I said, before the games, after the games, everything at the Cavelli and the amphitheater. But, also we're going to make it, family friendly too.
Okay.
We want you to come down with your kids to, we're going to have a lot of shareables, things like that. We're going to focus more on, small plates and shareables. We'll have, your burgers. We're not going to really do dinners. Things
really?
of that nature.
Okay.
We may have some specials every once in a while, but again, these are just as I am. I stay up all night and I just think of different foods. I'm watching the Food Network and I'm typing things
So
down.
no like chicken Alfredo or steaks or anything
not
like that.
right now. No,
More like
we want you to come and relax. We want you to feel comfortable in a suit and tie. We want you to feel comfortable in flip flops and shorts.
Okay.
Okay. That's the kind of the vibe that we're going to feel. So it's going to be relaxing and fun family atmosphere.
Yeah.
So that's where we're going to go. We got a couple other ideas we're working on, but we'll save those.
I love it.
To make it kid friendly and things like that. But the patio is kind of the centerpiece of everything. If you've been through downtown, it's a huge patio. It's huge. And if you stand with your back to the patio and you look up, it's beautiful. You see St. Columba, you see YSU campus, you see the steel. It's a beautiful view. Yeah,
absolutely.
And like I said, we talked before, we're going to have some entertainment. We want to be like the entertainment complex. We're going to try to do, we've talked about doing comedy shows, bringing jazz night, movie night on the patio.
Wow.
Even with tailgate, having our own tailgate party downtown with a bus that goes back and forth to tailgate.
Great.
And you can come down here, park. You can get your Airbnb.
Yes. Okay. Because every Airbnb comes with a parking spot. Yeah. So that's another benefit, especially on those busy weekends and those busy events when somebody's down at the amphitheater. So talk to us. Okay, real quick, while we're talking about this, let's shout out a couple, and I'm going to ask you about some of your favorites, just citywide and region-wide later. But let's shout out some of the businesses specifically that are around here. We got the Octave that just opened.
Yes,
and they are open. They're closed Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I haven't been there yet. Have you been there?
I have not.
Okay, but they do a lot of live jazz entertainment and the shareable plates and stuff like that. It's a little bit more of a different theme. It's just cool, and it's a bunch of young musicians that bought it. They got their start at the Federal doing open mic night during COVID, or like around then when they were just bored and didn't really have too much to do with too many gigs. So that was pretty cool. And then the Federal, of course, they do their grand
their Christmas
and they did a Valentine's one day this year. Yeah, and their burgers, I love their burgers.
I mean, I honestly, I spend some time downtown. I like, not even downtown. I personally just like to support local. I really don't spend money at any chain restaurants.
Yeah.
I love going to brunch at Mark's place at Bistro, and then V2's great. They got the best meatballs, and then pizza at the Avalon
with the ricotta, and then pizza at the Avalon. What's that hot honey pesto? That's the newest one. I love it.
That's a good pizza there.
What about Prima?
Prima's good. Prima is very good, and I tell you what, they have, their quality is amazing.
Yeah,
their pastas are good, very good.
I never even knew I liked artichokes.
Their polenta is amazing.
Their artichoke appetizer. But what else we? Oh, what about that Mexican restaurant, the Gringos?
Yep, I've been there a few times too. They have great Mexican.
Have you had their tacos?
Yeah, that's what I have. They were good.
Oh,
they were good.
Okay, all right. That makes my mouth water, but I have not had their tacos yet.
Everywhere there's good food everywhere downtown.
West 34. We can't forget about West 34.
West 34.
They have $10 lunches and like a lunch brunch option. So we are joining. Basically, the whole point is that we are joining an amazing group of people, but with something different. And it's just going to add, like you said, an entertainment hub. It's almost like a big square
Not even with the food too. Is I mean, you can go to the Draft House. You can get some good.
Yes, the Draft House.
You can get some good quality beers. You can go to Rise and get some good bourbons.
And Noble Creatures is right up the street, and then of course campus stuff. Rise right there. You got they have their good bourbons up Republic
there.
Pizzeria.
Republic, and then you have Imbibe with your martinis. So there's a lot of different places. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody.
I know. Now I feel like I shouldn't have that. But the point is that there's reason to come down here. Yep. There's a lot of places to go, and we're kind of adding. You are adding a unique addition to it.
There's a different,
but it's really a cool.
There's a different vibe for everybody. It's just not one type of
exactly.
I guess
that's
style.
what I'm getting at.
Yeah. So, like I said, there's. If you want some, like go to Prima or Bistro, you kind of want that, better quality, higher end food. You're good, and you can come get a burger anywhere. But there's different things.
I feel like it's
different
6 o'clock.
things. Yeah,
I feel like at 6 o'clock tonight, I'm going to be like, crap, I forgot so and so. So if I forget about you or your favorite, forgive me.
But like I said before, you got to give a lot of credit to these guys downtown, man, and. They're what the grit of downtown is, sticking through COVID and the construction and battling everything. And, again, I have good friends that pretty much work at every single place down here.
Nice.
And, I try to bounce around and visit them all and say hi. But there's some amazing employees downtown, and a lot of them have been down here for a while, and they've been through a lot.
Yeah.
And again, it's one of the reasons, seeing the heart that they have, and talking to some of them and sticking through it and saying, we'll get through it, and the positivity they had was good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it had to get frustrating, but it's good. It's good, and I'm happy that these guys decided to stick around, and I'm glad to be a part of, their downtown. They stuck through it, so I'm the new kid on the block. We're the new kid on the block. So, but we're gonna do our best, and I hope it kind of maybe creates a buzz for some other people and kind of get downtown going again. And I love coming downtown. I think it's a great place, especially with the amphitheater and the Cavelli and the different events at Dior too.
So, okay, one of the challenges, one of the things that I hear a lot of people say when they think about coming to downtown is the parking. So I know that you guys are working on some parking arrangements and possibilities and stuff to make sure that you could sustain or handle the crowd coming down. Talk to us a little bit about that. Just maybe talk to their fears or their hesitation to come.
It's been a situation. I mean, I think everybody knows it.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter where you go. But we're in talks with a couple different lots here for, maybe some secured parking for our location, things of that nature. Me personally, I feel it's safe downtown to walk. I have no issues.
Yeah.
Walking downtown or parking my car and walking.
So right now, it seems like a lot of the street parking is metered before 6. So for people who haven't been down here for a while, there's some free parking, street parking.
Yeah, I think after, I don't quote me, I think after 5 or 6 it may be free.
Okay.
And then on the weekends it's free. And there's a couple other lots downtown that will help out too. It's kind of one of those.
Yeah.
You love it, you hate it type deals.
Right. So. And I guess there are kind of some lots too where you could pay by the day, $3 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean there's definitely parking here, and again, I believe it's going to be fixed. They're working on it.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing's
just
perfect.
Don't park into a lot. And I'm telling you this, Youngstown Click, like I would tell my friends, don't park in a lot unless you pay or unless you know what that lot is. Because sometimes they are starting to do boots. They're starting to do tickets and different things because so long some of these. So just find street parking or know the parking that's connected to the restaurant you're going to, but don't find a lot and just think it's okay to park in there because that's not going to be good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of changes coming to downtown, but you just want to make sure that
they're all good changes.
They're great changes.
Everything's changes. And I mean, I think it's all for the better. I think there's a lot better reasons to come downtown again. Like I said, like with the restaurants and the amphitheater.
And the vibe. Yeah.
It's
so good. Yeah.
And even when I lived downtown a few years ago, even on a Saturday, Friday night, I'd come from work and downtown was busy. The patios were busy. People were walking around, smiling, happy. That's what I think it's going to come back to. And I think as soon as this weather breaks and the sun starts coming out every day and everybody starts getting that vibe again going, you'll be able to see that what's going to happen.
Absolutely.
The little gray skies in the snow kind of puts a damper on everybody's mood.
And shout out to Youngstown Cityscape too. They are so on point of making sure that the streets in downtown Youngstown in other
they look
neighborhoods
good.
are like beautiful. They plant plants. I mean, like you said, once the weather breaks,
Yeah,
it's
once the
going to
weather
look
breaks,
beautiful.
then it
Once
gets nice.
they can get in there and do their thing too.
Yeah, you'll
that'll
see.
be
You
good.
can already see they're starting to lay mulch in some of the dividers.
Yeah,
and it's gonna look nice downtown. I've seen some pictures. Some people just share online in some of the Facebook groups of downtown at night, and it's coming along great.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, so okay, before we go into my next question for you, Rudy, I just want to say, if you guys are intrigued already, there's the Gallagher Facebook page, so you could follow them and kind of like keep up to date as far as like things going on that page as well. And then you're going to have a page for the Varsity Club, right?
Yeah, eventually we're working on different marketing websites and, website, online ordering, POS and groceries, all the IT stuff that comes along. We're working on that right now. So, when that comes out, I'm sure it'll be shared by myself and everybody, and people will start to like it and follow it. And that's when we'll start really getting updates. But again, right now, we're still in the works. Nothing's set in stone on dates or, what's going on. So once we get a solid answer, then that's when we'll start sharing everything again. I don't want to start and it doesn't happen.
Of course.
Come on.
Right,
I don't want to get nobody excited and it doesn't happen. But as soon as we get some more solid answers.
What are we shooting, or what are you shooting for as far as a date? What is the big, are we allowed to say?
Yeah, we're hoping for Memorial Day weekend that we're going to have we may just have a small soft patio opening with, the bar done and some of the kitchen done by then.
Yeah.
If that's the case, we're going to have a small opening. We'll have our liquor license, so we'll be able to, have a small party. If not by then, we can show some renderings and drawings of what we're going to do. And
absolutely have some food.
Again, there's some different phases there because we still have the basement too. So we have some options in the basement there we can do. That we're talking about different banquet rooms and things like that. So. Again, it's not set in stone, but Memorial Day weekend, we're looking to have some type of patio opening or soft opening.
Okay, so Memorial Day weekend is going to be the weekend that we do a package giveaway for that weekend. So follow Youngstown Click, follow the Gallagher, and basically we'll announce on how to win that as time approaches, and we kind of like make sure that that's a good target. We're going to make sure that at least one of you guys, but maybe multiple, get a package giveaway for that weekend and just come down here and enjoy the opening weekend, enjoy an Airbnb stay. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, it's going to be good for everybody. I think,
it'll be good.
To come down and enjoy it. And like I said, what is it? There's 10 Airbnbs here, I think?
Yes.
So, I mean, there's 10 right there for you to come and stay. So, we're looking for that Memorial Day weekend, hopefully. But again, we're meeting weekly, different days. Different days we have different meetings about different things going. So, but it seems that the ball's rolling. It's really going. It's really going steadily right now. So
okay, so let's talk about Youngstown. For the listeners and the viewers, these are such amazing people. When I meet them out and around town, I'm just so moved so many times, and I laugh and I talk, and they're from all walks of life and just incredible, and they're committed to knowing and to being involved in Youngstown and into the world around them and just sharing their shine. And I love that so much. So talk to us. You have been a traveler. You've worked different places and you're regional managers and stuff like that. Talk to us a little bit about what makes Youngstown special to you.
You know what? It's just the camaraderie here, the family, that vibe there that you get. It's very laid back and relaxed. It's easy living in Youngstown, but the sense of community when they do come together is great.
Yeah.
It's home to me first and all.
Yeah.
My family's here, my friends are here.
Do you ever come back and you go, "Oh man, I forgot that this was like
when I lived in Cleveland for a long time, and again, I only came back a handful of times a year.
Okay.
And it always felt good to come back. You just, I'd come home for a weekend and you never had enough time to see everybody and do everything.
Yeah.
And, that's what I like. And the good thing too is, during my travels, I would have, my YSU shirt on, or, I went to Ursuline, so I have my Ursuline, and I'm in Florida, and someone's like, Youngstown. Everybody knows about Youngstown.
I love that.
California, everywhere you go.
Really? In California?
Yeah, I was out there a while ago.
That's great.
And, especially in Florida. There's so many Youngstown people in Florida, but, it's that sense of home.
Yeah.
And those people, they still have a sense of home. They still follow home.
Yeah.
So, me coming back was great. It's, again, I grew up with a big family. we were all close. It's just that sense of the home, and there's great people in this city. A lot of great people in this city, and I've met a lot of great people in this city. So it wasn't I never doubted coming back. I didn't know what the future held for me coming back. So it's been good so far, and I think it's going to get a little bit better. But, this is a great, strong community that has, different. The big thing too is the different cultures. Growing up, you had, different ethnicities, cultures that you grew up with. You got to learn different lifestyles and different foods.
When I lived in New York City, I looked for kolache. And I could not, I could not find kolache. Like kolache is like commonplace here. You get it at churches. You get it from your friend's grandma. Like kolache is kolache. I mean, there's a way it's supposed to be made, right? But in New York City, you could get it from a store, but it was like prepackaged and it was not kolache.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of ethnicities in New York City, but I was like, man, Youngstown, and then the halushki and all these different things that just they're just, it's like natural. That was not found in New York City. And it's crazy how like it's all integrated here. In New York City, I lived in a neighborhood called Elmhurst. Like first I lived in Hell's Kitchen, which was fun.
That'd be great.
Yeah, it was great. But then I moved to Elmhurst, Queens. And that was a largely Asian neighborhood. You'd see the elderly doing Tai Chi in the park and stores in Asian, it wasn't Korean because that was Flushing. It's like these little neighborhoods.
I don't know much
Little
about
India.
that.
So, it's interesting because if you want good Indian food, you go to Little India, you go to Chinatown, you go to Little Italy, and you see all these. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful setup. And then Regal Park is Russian and Forest Hills is Jewish. So it's like that. But here,
it's all in one pot. It's all in one pot.
Hodgepodge, yeah.
Yeah, and again too, like I said earlier when we started talking, is just bringing food together, and it's every day you can go to a different restaurant around here with a different food, with a different person, and just enjoy time and make memories, and that's the most thing I like about Youngstown. All my childhood memories are here, and I'd rather live here and visit everywhere else than live somewhere else and visit.
I feel like that should be like a slogan for the tourism committee.
Hey, we'll trademark that. We'll put it there. But that's how I always felt. Again, like I said, I'd rather live here and visit everywhere else and come home, and then live somewhere else and come here to visit. So
love it.
I really think that shows a lot of heart with the city and where the city's going. And I believe, there's the future's just going to get better, just not for downtown, but for the city. I love the city of Youngstown, like you said. I talked to a couple people and said, hey guys, I'm staying in Youngstown now. And they're like, listen, thank God, you're here, you're a Youngstown guy, when you said you were moving to go, and they were like, no, we don't want you to leave, but I enjoy this town. I enjoy this city. I love the people. I love everything that goes on, the events. And like I said, I think it's only going to get better.
That's amazing. So before I ask you the final question, what is your hardest, now this is more of a life question rather than like a restaurant question, but what is your hardest learned lesson in life? You're a worker, you put your heart and soul into things. What would you say is a lesson that you've had to learn the hard way and that you would share with other people?
First, there's two. I would say you can't please everybody. Ooh. That's one of the ones. Being in this industry, once you get to that level, when Magic Tree, when I took over, I wanted to, and it was keeping me up sleepless at night. I was reading reviews and I was reading this and I was doing that. And it's just like, I got to the point, a lot of my mentors would just say, look, you're doing your best. You're here. You can't please everybody. And when I started to realize that and accept that, my anxiety went down, things of that nature. Boy. And it's just said, hey, look, I got a great staff. They're working their butts off. I'm doing my best. Everybody's doing in my eyes, everybody's doing their best. So, not even just in the restaurant, but just in life in general. You can't please everybody. There's always going to be somebody that doesn't like what you do, and you just got to take it with a grain of salt and move on and keep going. So I think that's the biggest that lesson. And then the other one is just take risks.
Ooh,
you got to take a risk, even if you listen. I failed many times. Many times I've failed on things that I've done, but you just never know when that risk's going to come through. You've been told 29 times. Well, you know what? The 30th might be the yes. It's just, keep grinding, keep going, keep working, and, eventually you'll get there.
I love that. To know, people feel like after a big failure that they want to crawl into a hole and die, especially if it's a public one. Yeah. But here you are, alive, after many risks
Yep.
and still doing things and having gotten to experience things. So that's really, really good to hear from.
And again, too, is I've been blessed. I've gotten, there's luck too. I'm not going to lie. There's some luck that happens. But, I've worked hard in my life. I've come in early. I've stayed late. I've done a lot of things I didn't want to do. And, I feel eventually karma comes back and it's gonna bless you the right way. So, just stay focused, keep working, keep grinding. It's never easy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that you can't talk to everybody, so you keep in, but you just keep pushing and grinding through, and and eventually it'll come.
Now, if people want to connect to you personally, can they find you on Facebook, or should they just kind of look for the varsity?
Yeah,
club
I would wait till the varsity club
okay.
comes, because I keep my kind of personal things separate from everything else.
Okay.
So, but yeah, again, we're working on that. So eventually, too, I'll share it on my Facebook and on all that, and I'm sure everybody in our group here is going to share it. So between everybody here, there's a lot of followers. So I think we'll get it out. But hopefully, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be getting up to Facebook, and we're going to try to do all the Instagram and all that stuff too. And I don't know what the kids are doing, TikTok and Snapchat, and I don't know what it is, but eventually
Definitely
we'll get
TikTok.
we'll
Yeah.
We'll get there. There's a lot of different marketing areas that we're working with right now to see what we can do.
And you guys stay posted, because you'll see them on not only again on here in a video format and video tour, which is why it's good to like us on Facebook, because that's where you'll see, and YouTube, that's where you'll see the majority of the video stuff that we're able to show. But also you guys are going to have a lot of probably press as the things start to kind of develop and stuff. So
we're going to do a lot of press. I mean, I'm sure some of you have seen me on TV quite a bit. With my previous endeavor, but we're going to get back into that. We're going to go. And right now, like I said, we're just taking baby steps into it until we get things finalized.
I am excited to be able to give my viewers and followers and click.
You're the first one.
Inside scoop.
You're the first one.
You guys are going to see more of them, but I appreciate you giving us that scoop and a little bit of behind the scenes of who you are, because that really matters. It's not just like a outside entity coming in and saying, "Hey, we're going to open a restaurant in Youngstown because now we see it's beautiful." It's somebody who's literally invested their heart and soul for local, and a lot of the people that already know that. And just know that this is like a perfect thing for you to kind of step into.
I'm excited. Awesome. I've been off for a while.
Yeah,
I've been off and out of the scene for a while.
Dusting off.
I'm trying to dust it off.
There.
I will say that the first couple months out were great. The stress was down and there was nothing. Life was just kind of easy, but I miss it. I miss the restaurant business, and I miss the people, and I miss my restaurant families and the camaraderie. And
that's great.
I'm ready to get back 7 days a week and do it again. I'm sure I might change down in the future, but right now I'm ready and I'm excited. I'm excited to get back into the restaurant.
Well, and it sounds like there'll be an exciting vibe that kind of will fuel and motivate too. So, okay, now every interview that we do, we ask the same final question. So this one is going to be hard for you because you obviously know a lot of people and have been to a lot of places, but in the region between Cleveland and Pittsburgh, which is our Youngstown Click region, what are 3 of your favorite local places? 3 of your favorite?
Do they have to be restaurants, events, or places?
They could be hidden gems, hole in the walls. They could be your mom's business that you think more people should know about, like whatever.
No, I would definitely say one of my favorite places in this is Mill Creek Park. I love the park in the summer. It's one of my places where I can kind of go down and unwind. Life hits you hard. You get stressed out. I like it in the summer. Go down and sit by, Lake Glacier on one of those little docks and just, kind of relax, shut life off. I don't bring my phone with me. I don't bring my watch with me. Nothing's going off. And, I sit there for a half hour and just, listen to the water, listen to the birds, nature, kind of relax. So I think Mill Creek Park is just is a gem for this whole community. I suggest people just in the summer, even just go take a walk.
Yeah.
I love walking through the park in the summer. And,
it's so good for you mentally and bodily.
Yeah, so Mill Creek Park is definitely one of my favorite places. And let's see, number 2.
They've been getting a lot of love and shout outs from Youngstown Click people lately.
It's amazing. Like it truly is, it's a great place to go, and there's a lot to do in the park, and it's just a relaxing place, and it's just amazing that it's literally 5 minutes down the road from us right here.
It sure is,
So as I said earlier too, one of the big things that I do is my faith is big. So I go to St. Columbo Church would be my second favorite place to go to.
Okay.
I usually go to Mass Monday through Friday at noon.
Wow.
So I'm there 4 or 5 days a week.
Okay.
So that's always been a big intricate part of me. And
What is St. Columbo known for? I've never heard of that saint.
Well, it's the saint. It's the head of the Catholic diocese. So that's where they have the 12:10 Mass. And, so it's, for me, it's not really the saint.
Okay.
It's more of the church aspect that I can go to. It's not a full Mass. It's a shorter Mass. It's a 12:10. It lasts about 20, 25 minutes. So with my schedule.
Every single day?
Yeah, every single day, 12:10. So I usually go and it just fits my schedule.
Yeah.
So, and I'll still go to other churches, on the weekend if I can't make it. So it's not really the saint itself. It's the actual physical church aspect of going. So that's another place that I go, and it's 30 minutes.
And it kind of just directs your eyes to God.
30 minutes a piece. I relax again. I don't bring my phone in. I don't use it. I don't do nothing.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's 30 minutes a piece that I can find a day.
Wow. Okay.
So that would be number 2. And number 3, I would say Handel's ice cream. I would say Handel's ice cream would be number 3. So,
all right, what's your favorite flavor?
Cherry vanilla.
Oh, wow, you didn't even hesitate.
No, it's the only. I've tasted other people's, but that's the only one I have. But Handel's is definitely a favorite place of mine.
Cherry vanilla.
I think they call it White House too. I think they might call it White House, but I've always called it cherry vanilla. It's just their vanilla and it's got the Marciano cherries in it, but it's.
Oh my!
It's the best ice cream I've ever had.
Really?
So that's my, and, that's my teaser. I try to stay away from it. I've kind of been on a health kick lately. I go to the Y. Another gym for me too is the YMCA downtown.
Absolutely.
And especially if I'm living downtown, I'll have the Varsity Club. Church is right there. The Y's right there. I can walk to everything.
It's perfect. Yeah.
But I've been on a little health journey lately, and I've kind of lost 40, 45 pounds here. So so the ice cream is kind of my treat. So yeah. So I would say, the restaurant. If I'd have to pick restaurants, and I couldn't pick one.
Yeah.
It's just I would have to say it's what mood I'm in that day.
Okay. Yeah.
I know where I like my I won't eat pasta out. I only eat my mom's pasta at home. That's it. That's the only way.
See, but, that's no fair.
If I want a steak, I know where to go. If I want tacos, I know where to go. If I want a burger, I know. You know what I mean? So it's kind of what mood I'm in and where I'm going to eat that day. If I want wings, I got my favorite wing spots.
Nice.
I got my favorite pizza places. It all depends on what mood and what I'm going for that day. So I don't really have a favorite restaurant in the area. It's just all locally owned restaurants that I support, and I'll go from there.
So our last podcast, and I don't know when this will be showing, if it's before, but it's Rob Fernback, and he and his family do a thing where they do like a pizza tour of pizza, or pizza of Youngstown or something like that, where they all have to bring a pizza from a different place, and then they all have pizza for whatever. I think that would be phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
I was telling him, you just got to try like everything. You got to try and find some of your favorites. Yeah.
The pizza in this area is amazing. It's amazing. You can't grab a bad piece of pie in this area at all.
No.
But so that would be my top 3.
You did good. You did really good. Yeah, that's amazing. I love that you threw in the things that are personal to you beyond just the obvious, the eating and stuff like that. So that's really beautiful. So
everybody knows I like to eat, so that's they know that. I need like a good beer and a good cocktail every once in a while. So
nice. Well, you got plenty of that around here.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. Stay posted because there's going to be more to come about the varsity, and you guys will be the first ones to find out, the first ones to get the tour inside. Super excited about that. Super honored that they allow us to bring that to you. Once again, we want to thank the Gallagher because they are, this encapsulates the whole building. There's the apartments, there's the Airbnbs, and now the restaurant is coming inside of this over 100-year-old building.
Yeah,
and
I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be an exciting summer here.
Yeah, it will. And then OhioFlame.com. Check them out. Check out those fire pits. They're made to last for a generation. They're not going to get all rusty and discarded or blown away with the wind. Unless there's a tornado, then maybe it will be. But anyway, nothing brings community together quite like a bonfire. And that's where strangers becomes friends, and you want something that pulls people together. And so OhioFlame.com, we appreciate them for sponsoring the Youngstown Click podcast. As always, never forget that you are the best part of what makes Youngstown Click. You are the best part of what makes this brings this region together. Never underestimate your shine, your smile, your word, your voice. I am so blessed to be in the Click with you, and thank you for listening. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.